Hi everyone, my name is Haley Stahulak and I'm a large team grant specialist in the Grant Services and Analysis Office. I'm excited to share with you some of the new resources created by our research development team. Specifically, we've developed resources and have some new services to help University of Michigan medical school faculty and support staff who are submitting large team grants. First, I'm going to define a large team grant. I might also use the phrase large-scale proposal in this presentation. Large team grants, or LTGs, address complex scientific problems that cannot be tackled by a single discipline and instead are best approached with collaborative team science. LTGs are governed by an interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary overall research question or program and are comprised of several scientific projects and supported by various scientific support cores. Given the size and scale of these grants, their complex budgets, and the number of personnel, LTGs almost always require an administrative core to ensure proper oversight. We define an LTG as having the characteristics I've just outlined, along with a roughly $1 million per year budget in direct costs. Here are some examples of LTG mechanisms at NIH. To reduce some of the administrative burden of putting together large team grants, we have developed a large team grant resources SharePoint website previewed for you here. This website has a toolkit repository of resources for faculty, research administrators, lab or project managers, really anyone involved with an LTG. The site is geared towards anyone, no matter your familiarity with large-scale proposals or your level of involvement in putting one together. Now I'm going to preview some of the resources for you on the highlighted pages and then highlight our project management services at the end of this presentation. The first page within our toolkit of resources about submitting an LTG will help researchers decide whether they are well positioned to lead or contribute to an LTG. Resources on this page can assist both those familiar and those unfamiliar with the size and scope of large-scale proposals. The first document previewed here goes over typical characteristics of an LTG PI, and team members, as well as the amount of planning and the time frame required to submit a large team grant. We also highlight the role of research development professionals and research administrators, or RAs, since their help is especially critical with such administratively burdensome proposals. Next, we have some proposal resources to help you and your team get on the same page in terms of who will do what and the vision and scope of the proposed science. Documents in the toolkit, such as the planning worksheet previewed here, will help teams develop a compelling research vision, facilitate discussions around matters such as financial management, and assist in making decisions before the grant is even funded about topics such as authorship and spin-off projects. Other documents can help teams decide things like how they will communicate, how they will format documents for consistency, and how they will write collaboratively. In addition, we have customizable timelines and checklists to help teams stay on track. Finally, we developed templates and LTG-specific guidance for all sections of an NIH large-scale proposal, from the letter of intent and facilities and other resources to human subjects and clinical trials documents, although those aren't previewed here. Some of the provided considerations are around writing with a team science frame instead of writing for single investigator awards such as R01s. Additionally, we have specific aims and research strategy specific templates for PO1s, including for the overall administrative core, scientific core, and research project components. Finally, I want to highlight our large team grant project management services. Before jumping into the services themselves, I'll describe the requirements and our process for serving faculty and their teams. These services are free for medical school faculty submitting their grant through the medical school. We assist teams through the submission process and prioritize assisting teams applying to NIH mechanisms with a complex structure like the one I described previously and $1 million per year or more in direct costs. However, we are happy to assist with LTG submissions to various funders as our capacity allows, so we encourage you to reach out to us as soon as you have a large-scale proposal opportunity in mind. Overall, though, our goal is to alleviate some of the administrative burden of putting together these proposals. So if you would like full project management services throughout the proposal development process, we ideally want to start working with you and your team 6 to 9 months before the agency deadline. After an intake form is submitted, we will set up a Zoom call with the PI to discuss which services the team needs and how we can best work with your research administrator to support your team. Now I'll go over a few examples of the services we offer. Our full list of services will be linked in the description of this video. We offer these services in a sort of a la carte way because we recognize that every team will need tailored support depending on the structure of the team, the funding mechanism and agency, and the research support staff currently supporting the team. Before teams even get to the writing stage, we can help develop a project plan in collaboration with the PI and RA to get the team on the same page about who is going to do what and when. Using some of the SharePoint toolkit documents I previewed for you, we can facilitate decision-making about how to write collaboratively, about cohesive formatting and citations, and version control. Finally, we can manage team meetings and task assignments in tandem with the PI. Once a team gets to the writing stage, we can provide tailored templates and boilerplate language for some sections, including facilities and human subjects. We will work collaboratively with the RA to review documents such as biosketches, facilities, and letters of support. We will also review the grant for adherence to the funding announcement and review criteria. And finally, we will ensure that throughout the writing process, the team is keeping integration and synergy at the forefront. After all, one of the hallmarks of a large team grant is that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. If you have any questions about large team grant resources or our project management services, please get in touch with us at the LTG Med School email address on this slide. The SharePoint URL is also listed on this slide and is in the description of this video, along with a link to the website with a more thorough description of our project management services. Thank you for your time.